Just think about this. While Melania Trump refuses to go on the campaign trail with Donald, while Donald's hanging out with Laura Loomer and Alina Habba and others, she's been cutting these weird promos for this book that she's selling where she says that the nudes that she took in the past, it's like classical artwork, and the media is so mean for pointing out that she does these nude photographs. She also brags about tearing up the Rose Garden, and she also accuses the FBI of somehow being involved in a conspiracy regarding assassination attempts on Donald Trump. And then she also attacks the FBI for searching Mar-a-Lago, where Donald Trump stole nuclear codes. And she's doing that to try to sell a book. And I can go and show you those clips. I'm sure you've seen it before. I mean, in the very heavy accent, she talks about the nudes and what's like a work of art, she says. I'm not going to show you those at the first part of this video. I want to point out the hypocrisy here. And our friends at Now This Impact, they've done a great job comparing Melania's behavior, and this was before any of this stuff, with how the media, how Fox, how other corporate media treated Michelle Obama. And as you see, you realize that this corporate media, they're not reporting the news. They're like announcers at WWE wrestling, right? They're providing a narrative that is often very skewed and slanted and disparate. Here, just take a look at this. Here, watch it.
A stunning new example and the contrast in the media's treatment of Melania Trump and Michelle Obama. You don't want to miss this.
Michelle, Merchant of Death Obama.
The bitter half of the Obama administration.
Maybe we should call her Lady Michelle Obama.
It's like we have a king and queen.
Michelle Obama is so like the Duchess when she speaks
kind of
about.
Annoying,
She is.
By the way, they're not just. Be eating. She needs to drop a few.
Melania Trump is spectacular in every way, and she is a dazzling representative of the United States.
She is a woman of strength and should be revered, not made fun of.
The woman is beautiful inside and out.
Melania Trump is one of the classiest, most elegant, smartest women I know.
And it's impossible for people not to have the pants charmed off of them when she shows up.
America and the world seems to have fallen in love with the First Lady, Melania Trump.
Michelle Obama, she may not be proud of her country, but she's certainly proud of her wardrobe.
The First Lady was caught on camera wearing shorts. And some people think this is a big no-no for a First Lady. The First Lady was also criticized for wearing a sleeveless gown to the inaugural ball.
When she opened up the White House vegetable garden, she was wearing a pair of boots that cost $775.
Running around in almost a $7,000 jacket really sends a conflicting message.
The real injustice is the press's attention on what she's wearing rather than what she does.
Melania Trump always looks so stunning and so beautiful. I just want her wardrobe.
She tends to try to make statements by her appearance.
They commented on her shoes, that she had heels on at one point before she changed into sneakers.
Pretty much Michelle Obama got a pass. Interestingly, Michelle Obama, she gets out of a vehicle. She's carrying a bag that was $1,200 and nobody said a thing.
No one said a thing about her $500 Lanvin sneakers either.
Reportedly spending $2,000 on this sundress.
What?
The First Lady changed into a $950 skirt just hours later.
You'd think maybe the press would have more to worry about than what the First Lady wears, but no.
Lives are at stake here. Why are we worried about fashion right now?
Now that a Republican is president, apparently the First Lady is expected to dress like a poor person.
You can't criticize someone for their clothes, for their wardrobe choices.
First Lady Michelle Obama stepped out wearing an expensive designer jacket for a reception at Buckingham Palace. The price tag, $6,800.
Melania Trump looks stunning.
She looked beautiful,
right?
as always.
We just take that for granted.
Melania Trump always certainly looks stunning and always a fashionista in moments like this.
Taking the nanny state to the new level, Michelle Obama is suggesting what you should feed your children.
This isn't about science. It never has been. It's about control.
Taxpayers would be outraged that they're going to be asked to spend another $4.5 billion to elevate Michelle Obama to sainthood.
If a first lady gets political and places herself in the political arena, then I think we need to give her the credit.
It's wonderful that the first lady is reaching out to young people.
This is something the first lady has been very passionate about, so I commend her for her choices.
Can you imagine if we would sit here on Fox News and attack Michelle Obama for something that she was trying to do to better the country?
Big Mama or Big Nanny is wagging her fingers at the food industry.
Michelle Obama talks healthy food eating, then goes out and eats cheeseburgers.
Is the First Lady overstepping her bounds?
The general rule with first ladies that they're off limits.
You don't attack the first lady unless, she does something really newsworthy.
Michelle Obama thinks being America's first lady is, quote, hell.
She's doing pretty well. She takes trips to New York, Broadway plays, out to dinner.
She's got a great life.
And fancy date nights.
Fancy date nights in New York and traveling the country and, fancy clothes. I don't know what she's complaining about.
They can't stop disparaging her. Why is there such an obsession over her?
It's so offensive. What did Melania Trump ever to do with any of these people?
And the public is seeing these Marie Antoinette vacations that she's taking, and they're not liking it.
Now you're hearing Michelle Antoinette on the internet.
Pundits decide those heels were proof that the First Lady is a modern-day Marie Antoinette.
They're harpies. They're jealous and they're envious.
Michelle Obama's face is like this.
She tries to look like she's smiling, but she can't pull it off. Her posture is bad. Her mouth is in a bad place, even her eyes.
And then we have the disgusting story about Michelle Obama's bottom.
Michelle Obama's bottom? I don't know where that was. I must have missed that one.
Melania Trump just posed for her official White House portrait. But of course, liberals found reasons to bash her.
In a fair world, of course, Melania Trump would be splashed over every fashion magazine in America.
I have never seen a first lady be attacked like this, like Melania Trump has.
I don't believe this ever would have happened, or can I think of it happening, to Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama's whining that she can't tweet.
Are we to believe that she's kidding or just haphazardly stringing words together and they came out in a sentence?
Is there an out-of-touchness there?
Very. Political tone deafness of staggering proportion.
They would never do this to Michelle Obama, would they?
It would be outrage all over the place if somebody said this, God forbid, about Michelle Obama.
Women are supposed to stick together. Even Hillary Clinton said that.
It's a glaring double standard. It has to end. It's so obvious. Leave the First Lady alone.
There's a double standard. We all know this. I mean, it's transparent.
Okay, well, now that you've seen that, let me layer on top of that, if you will. Let's just show you what the second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, said recently when he was asked on Good Morning America about Donald Trump's recent remarks that Vice President Kamala Harris hates Jewish people. Doug Emhoff is Jewish. And he goes, well, she likes me. Why this even has to be a question? Why Donald Trump is the leader of the Republican Party? And that's just a normalized behavior to begin with. Well, on the one hand, he says this. What's your response? No, we should all look at those statements by Donald Trump and say they're absolutely disqualifying. But here's Doug Emhoff, so you can see for yourself. Play the clip.
His husband, second gentleman Doug Emhoff, himself Jewish, responding in an interview with our Michael Strahan.
He said this, quote, she doesn't like Jewish people. And she likes me. You're Jewish American. So what was your reaction when you heard that in real time?
So it's typical Donald Trump gaslighting. He is somebody who has had dinner with known anti-Semites. He is somebody who after the horrific events of Charlottesville, where people were actually marching with tiki torches saying Jews shall not replace us. And he said there were fine people on both sides of that. This is a guy who has had a record of saying incredibly vile anti-Semitic things. So for him to say that, I just almost laugh at how the chutzpah, as we would say, and it's gaslighting.
And here's Donald Trump from this bizarre event that he held in Uniondale, Long Island, where he said he's going to flip New York red. All right, Donald, keep focusing on New York. But he goes, go out and buy my wife's book buy Melania's book. Unless she says bad things, then don't buy it. I mean, it's just, Again, is this an infomercial, or are we talking about policies for the American people? It's a constant infomercial. Here's what he says.
Go out and get a book. She just wrote a book. I hope she said good things about it. I don't know. I didn't. So busy. She just wrote a book called Melania. Go out and buy it. It's great. And if she says bad things about me, I'll call you all up and I'll say, don't buy it. Get rid of it. No, but
you see, for Donald Trump and all of these characters, they're WWE cosplay characters. Like, here's Donald Trump selling, an assassination edition t-shirt. Play the clip.
So they just came out with this t-shirt, which is really pretty spectacular. And it's selling like hotcakes. And
here's J.D. Vance doing a weird video of himself by some arcade. Here, play this clip.
Guys, J.D. Vance here, playing a little buck hunter before a rally in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, also known as the closest Tim Walz has ever gotten to real combat. Have fun out there.
I mean, there are countless videos like this. Here's one of the campaign stops that Donald Trump went on, where he was handing out Bitcoin burgers because he was selling a new thing, Bitcoin, as his stock is crashing. Now he's on to the next one, the Bitcoin. Here, play this clip.
okay, these suckers are good too. They make them good here. Yeah. This is a crypto burger. No, it's a Bitcoin burger. Actually, you should name them. Name a Bitcoin and a crypto.
All right, now back to Melania, and so let me just share with you what she's done over the past, week. Again, here's the video of her bragging about the nude photos that she took in the past and how great they are. And she's like a classical work of art, she says. Here, play this clip.
Why do I stand proudly behind my nude modeling work? The more pressing question is, why has the media chosen to scrutinize my celebration of the human form in a fashion photo shoot? Are we no longer able to appreciate the beauty of the human body? Throughout history, master artists have revered the human shape, evoking profound emotions and admiration. We should honor our bodies and embrace the timeless tradition of using art as a powerful means of self-expression.
Okay, then on the other hand, here she is talking about destroying the Rose Garden. I mean, just take a look at the before and after of the Rose Garden. I mean, she destroyed this thing. And then she goes, because I care about tradition and tradition. Here, play this clip.
When the Committee for the Preservation of the White House asked me to renovate the Rose Garden, I felt a deep responsibility to respect tradition and to preserve its grandeur for future generations. In my book, I share the story of this journey, how my team and I work to safeguard this piece of our history.
And again, by the way, if she wants to go and brag about taking, kind of pornographic photographs, I mean, do your thing, but you've spent your whole life attacking people and spreading lies and conspiracies, and all you're trying to do now is sell a book. I mean, here she is saying that the FBI is involved and that the law enforcement knew and they're involved in the shooting. Here, play this clip of Trump. Here, play this clip.
The attempt to end my husband's life was a horrible, distressing experience. Now, the silence around it feels heavy. I can't help but wonder, why didn't law enforcement officials arrest the shooter before the speech? There is definitely more to this story, and we need to uncover the truth.
This is all to sell books. Like, what is this? Like, how is this America? I mean, you watch this, I'm like, how is this even a thing happening right now? I go back to where they met, and I've told the story before, but for those new to the MeidasTouch network, I may as well just repeat it one more time, right? She was brought over from this so-called Eastern European modeling agency in the United States of America. And this modeling agency brought young Eastern European women over to the United States. And this guy, Paolo Zampoli, was the person who ran it. And they would throw parties at the Kit Kat Club, it was called, in New York. And the wealthy Manhattan men would meet the young models from Eastern Europe. And that's how Donald Trump met her, in the Kit Kat Club. And then her process was expedited. And then she went out and then spoke against other people's status who were lawfully here. Like, then she went and said this about Obama. Here, play this clip.
But what is this with the birth certificate obsession? Did he ask to see yours when you met him?
I needed to put mine anyway, because if you want to become an American citizen, you need to put the birth certificate.
Right.
I have a birth certificate from Slovenia. And do you want to see President Obama birth certificate or not?
I've seen it.
It's not the birth certificate.
Well, it's a certificate of live birth,
Right,
which they get. But Melania, if he insists on what he's saying, then no one in Hawaii can ever run for president, because they all get the same live birth certificate.
Well, but they need to
Bette
have...
Midler is finished, for example.
They need to have, and in one way, it will be very easy if President Obama just show it, and because it's not only Donald who wants to see it. It's American people who voted for him and who didn't vote for him. They want to see that.
But it's on display in Chicago. We've seen it on the internet. We've seen it. It's not the same as yours, but it's a certificate of live birth.
Well, we feel it's different than birth certificate.
All right. Well, I think you should give it up at this point.
Well, it's not. It's not him that it's bringing up. It's the media all the time.
And then for the media to go, oh, so classy, so classy. What are we talking about? No, it isn't. But we have to go through these and show you one by one what's going on here. Now you've seen it, so let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million together, and just thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.